You can make presentations, you can talk, you can ask for action, and I just want to ask him to retract that because he's wrong, and he could avoid another Brown Act violation. And we think you should get the 25% of the judicial, so I hope you do entertain revisiting that.
Thank you. Is there anybody else wishing to address the board under public comment? Be happy to take your comments at this time. If not, we're going to move on to our 10 o'clock time certain. Anybody else in the audience? Seeing none, we're going to move on to D2, Health and Social Services Administration Ordinance number 2013-003, and the action is to adopt the ordinance by title only. Melody, good morning
Mr.
again.
Chairman, board members, we talked at some length last week about this particular ordinance, and I haven't received any questions from either members of the board or the administration or the public. If there are any, I'd be happy to entertain them now. Otherwise, I'd ask you to go ahead and please adopt this ordinance so we can move forward.
Questions or comments by board members? Staff? Audience? Chair to entertain a motion.
I make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2013-003 by title only.
Been moved by Supervisor Pyle, seconded by Supervisor Wasik to adopt ordinance number 2013-003 by title only. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, would you poll the board, please?
Supervisor Chapman?
Aye.
Supervisor Alba?
Aye.
Supervisor Pyle?
Aye.
Supervisor Wasik?
Aye.
Supervisor Hanson?
Aye.
Thank you.
Passes unanimously. Thank you, Melody. We're going to move back up and take up unagendized reports by board members. Jim, you want to give us a start on that?
I have nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Alba.
Yeah, the only thing I really have is spent most of the week at the fair. I thought it was a very good turnout, got to see a lot of people there. You know, it was just really nice to see all the community members there, and it just gave me a whole new appreciation this year for our fair manager and the fair board and the stuff they do. The many long hours that they spend and the hard work that they do, it was very impressive, and anyway, it was a good time at the fair.
Good. Thank you very much. Supervisor Pyle.
I have nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Wasik.
Nothing.
My only unagendized report would be to echo Supervisor Alba's comments. I think our Fair Advisory Board does an outstanding job down there with very little resources, and they certainly meet the challenge well. So, moving on then to item F1. F1 is a letter of resignation from Frederick Les Evans from the Honey Lake Valley Resource Conservation District Board.
Mr. Chairman, I just have a question.
Sure.
Since he's a member of that board, should his letter of resignation be addressed to that board? Why is he addressed to us?
Came to us.
I realize he came to us, but
I think you're technically correct.
I think
It probably came to us because obviously in the past you made those appointments.
And they would request the appointment
yeah,
process.
they requested us to make the appointment, but as a matter of rule, we have no jurisdiction or control of this board per se.
Those are valid observations, so we'll get to the district and allow them to take their.
I think we should note in the record that we received a copy of his resignation and refer it to the RCD action.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that, Supervisor Chapman. Anybody disagree with that? All right. Moving on then to G, information and consent calendar. Anybody want to pull anything for separate consideration? Seeing none, Chair to entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Supervisor Alba, seconded by Supervisor Pyle to adopt the consent calendar as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Is there any opposition? That carries unanimously. We have one other time certain, I think, at 10:30, so we're gonna,
Before you move on,
Yes.
I just have a question,
Sure.
and maybe the clerk can help me with it, I'm not sure. But in our packet, we have an item F2 with some appointments to the Behavioral Health Advisory Board.
It disappeared, I don't know what.
But I was gonna say on the
We'll
agenda,
bring
I
it back.
don't see it, so is this something that,
We're bringing it back.
okay, so I'll just hang on, I just thought about that.
thank you for bringing that up.
It was.
Let's move on then to item H1, County Clerk item. Julie, good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Chairman Davidson, Board of Supervisors. I'm here today to request a purchase of a new Zinda system. We're looking at Granicus. It's used throughout the county by quite a few counties. And I'm going to introduce Lexi Figa, who's taken the lead on this project and did the research for me and worked really hard. Lexi.
Good morning. Lexi Figa, Recorder's Office. The Granicus purchase that we're looking at, and will allow Lassen County Clerk Recorder and the Clerk of the Board to increase the transparency and accountability through this latest technology that they have. It's an automated tool that will make our staff even more productive and cost efficient. They're going to be streamlining the entire agenda to minutes process, including the publication on the website. They've been proven to be a successful product and service provider for over 500 local agencies of all sizes across the U.S. and Canada for over 11 years now, and they're the leader in this particular field. They have a fully hosted and secure off-site delivery platform that can expand as our needs grow, with a workflow suite to help our county departments communicate more effectively and in a timely manner. It's going to allow for us to manage and store an unlimited amount of data for archive and retrieval to upload and publish content, including supporting documents, audio files, maps, and more as we see the need. The Open Granicus platform will create a powerful website portal easily accessible to and user-friendly for the public to search and print all published agendas, minutes, and supporting information, which includes clearly visible help tool options. Granicus is being used by over 2,500 meeting bodies, over 7,000 elected officials, and hosting over 4,000 legislative research portals online for quick and easy data search. Okay. It's a simplified public access with indefinite retention for all published archived meeting and non-meeting content. Their IT support is 24/7, 365. So they're at our beck and call, supposedly. That's what they say. No program is infallible, and people are people, so I can't say that it's going to be 100% glitch-proof, but I anticipate that it's a better product than what we are currently using. Our county IT department has had meetings with their technical side and has reviewed the system requirements and the data conversion process, and at this time, there are no conflicts or concerns with either IT department. So it seems like we will be able to do the data conversion with no problem. And that's it, unless you guys have any questions.
Supervisor Chapman,
I
start with you.
just have one question. When this gets set up, as we go with this group, will the dates for meetings or agendas, will it be in like
I will make
reverse
sure,
order, so
Jim,
that the newest is
that
at the
is,
top and not at the bottom?
all right.
So that it would be like easy to, because that was the problem we've had for a long time with the existing platform, and so we don't have to pay like special people to go in there and program it,
No.
and give it what we want to begin with.
No, it's at our discretion and how we want it set up.
Well, let's make sure that gets set up that way, because
Without an act of Congress.
I know.
Right.
I know the staff's tired of hearing me talk about it.
Right. And it's basically an off-site server, so we will not be hosting the servers ourselves. And the servers of this size, that get this kind of use, are about $15,000 a piece. They last anywhere from 5 to 10 years, depending on how much they're used. So it would be a cost savings, and it would lessen the burden of our IT department as well.
Aaron, you had a question or comment?
Yeah, because, I mean, like I I said before, I'm pretty naive on this computer. So this is gonna be the stuff that you go to the website to look up the, it has all the archive stuff, and so it's just not this little piece of paper here that says agenda.
Right.
Okay.
It'll be
It's
fully
everything that goes
electronic.
with it for years and years.
And there's a retention and security policy involved, so.
Jim?
I have another question. The type of files that they use, are we using PDF files, or are we gonna still have those old TIFF files?
There's a multitude of applications, so they will accept GIS, they will accept PDF, they'll accept audio, video, they'll accept anything. So they will be accessible to open.
Well, I hope that whatever format is used is one that is commonly available. So if you use like Word, use the oldest Word, not the newest Word. So that people who have old computers with old Word have a chance to access files. I think that's the standard. I mean, PDF is really the standard government uses. I mean, pretty much everything at the state level, if you access, and not only PDF that are fixed, but PDF that allow you to go in and fill out forms and things of that nature. Those are the kind of interfaces that you want to make sure. So hopefully, you know, because that other system, the people that created it, you know, they wanted, you know, these TIFF files, which are great for printers who are printing, but they're not great for people to use.
Well, at this point, I think the departments that are submitting for the agenda and the minutes and things, they're submitting things PDF. So if we need to convert, we could, but at this point, that's what we're going to be getting, is audio and PDF.
Those would be preferred.
Mhm.
We generally don't use Word because we don't want people changing our records.
Correct.
Right. Well, you don't want to have an open document there, I mean, because it's
Right.
easy for documents to be manipulated. You still can manipulate them if you want to. I mean, people can do most anything they want.
Well, there are securities and encodes provided, so they shouldn't be able to do that. It should be a viewing and printout only for the public side.
Any other questions or comments by board members before I open it up to the audience? Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments of the action the board's about to take? Lexi, thank you very much, appreciate it. Seeing none, Chair, entertain a motion.
I would move, Mr. Chairman, that we proceed with given staff direction to begin the process of moving to this new platform.
And that the action request is to authorize the CAO to execute the contract.
And to a one-time amount of $27,800 and a monthly charge of $869, which actually works out to about $10,400 a year. It's about double what we've been paying to the other one, but I tell you, if it gives us the access and the ease of use, it's well worth it.
And that's agreeable to use, Supervisor Lustig, for the stated motion. Moved by Supervisor Chapman, seconded by Supervisor Wasik to authorize the CAO to execute on behalf of the board the service agreement with Granicus. Under discussion, Supervisor Alba, you have one item?
Yeah, I just got a question. So the people we're using now, is there any more time left on his contract? Are we doing a month-by-month, pay-as-you-go basis?
The contract we had actually expired June 30th, and then we got a quote for an upgrade, and the upgrade with the current system would be $3,000 less to start with, but the monthly fee would be more. So we're gonna be saving $5,000 a month, or a year, by using Granicus instead of
So
Plexus.
we don't need to cancel our agreement, our it's expired.
Okay, and then what about this one here? If something better comes along or it's not working out, I mean, how long of a contract do we sign with
I
this?
think it's for
18 months
18 months
initially.
to start with.
Okay. And is it very hard to get out of, or, I mean, if you have to break it for whatever
It
reason?
has after termination clauses that we need to use. And any agreement will be reviewed by the county council before it's signed. It'll take us about 3.5 months to
13 weeks is
get online here.
Okay, any other questions or comments by board members prior to taking the vote? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Is there any opposition to be heard? Hearing none, carries unanimously. Going to move on to H2, Health and Social Services. Melody, you gonna handle this, or is Mr. Edwards gonna handle it on his own? This is the appointment of Bob Edwards to the PHC Commission. Morning, Bob. Thank you very much for taking time to come in.
And now that you've made it legal for us to join the PHC Commission, Bob has thankfully volunteered to be our first representative for Lassen County to that board, and you have in your packet a copy of his application and his qualifications. He's highly qualified, and I'm very happy to introduce Bob and let you tell him a little bit about yourself.
Thank you,
I think
Bob.
you already know me really well. I think it's pretty good. No, I'm the pleasure to serve in this capacity, and my employer really supports this maneuver too. So with time and the energy to make it work. So thank you for considering it.
Board members have any questions or comments? Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments on this item? Again, thank you very much for taking the time to come in, Bob. Chair to entertain a motion on it.
I move, Mr. Chairman, that Mr. Edwards be appointed to fill the new vacancy.
Been moved by Supervisor Chapman, seconded by Supervisor Pyle to appoint Mr. Bob Edwards to the PHC Commission. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. Is there any opposition to this? Hearing none, it carries unanimously.
I would ask, Mr. Chairman, obviously this is a joint powers agreement that we're joining through this ordinance and through this, and we've had a lot of concerns in recent months about all the JPAs that we're involved in and the potential liabilities that could come up. I think, again, given that this is a fairly new thing, I would like to encourage maybe Melody and or Bob or both, maybe periodically every 2 or 3 months, maybe schedule an agenda item to come back and give us kind of a report and an update. Not that we never see them again because they're off doing their thing. I think it would be helpful for us to kind of know what's happening with this new body that we're becoming associated with.
One of the things that Bob and Phil Nowak at the clinic and I have been discussing is some kind of a local health execs meeting just to keep in touch with each other on what's happening locally, because this partnership with Partnership Health basically impacts Northeastern Rural Health Clinic, the hospital, and Health and Social Services. When I last looked at the list, we didn't have any other local private providers who wanted to be Medi-Cal providers going into the future. So that's our plan, to try to keep in touch, and we'd be happy to come back and give you an update on a quarterly basis. If that's what you want.
I think that would be,
I think periodic updates.
just to start with, but I think that would be great.
Especially as we go down this new road.
We can do that.
Okay, thank you very much. And I just had one additional thing, Mr. Edwards. I would like to ask Marty and you to get together at some point in time, and maybe we could put Bob on the agenda to update things on the hospital and so on. It's good to hear about that institution and their 200 employees and the progress they're making in delivering health services here in Lassen County. So if we could put that on the agenda for a future meeting, that'd be great. We're going to go ahead and recess for 5 minutes, as noted in D3 at 10:25. We'll come back and get it up to 10:30.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.